Good evening, everyone. We're not ready to get started, but I see a familiar face here. Did you have a question? Go ahead and type it in the chat. I see you keep raising your hand, so. I know you were on here the other day, so you can't possibly want to sit and listen to all of this again. Maybe you do.
Stream.
JT, where are you from? JT, is this your first time on with us or? Excellent. Where are you coming to us from? Colorado. Awesome. Black Prince, remind me where you're coming to us from.
Okay, we got all the streams started.
There we go. Here they come. JT, talk to me. In Colorado, are you an established instructor or are you new to the game? TT2, where are you coming to us from? Right. Certified through USCCA, but are you new or is this something you've been doing a while or? Hey, Keith. Julian, welcome. Out of here. Black Prince, Madison. What does that mean? Madison, Wisconsin, Madison. Hi, Chris. Madison, Wisconsin. Good deal. Are you new to the game? Existing instructor? Help me out. How about everyone else? Where's everyone dialed in from? I just like to give it a few minutes. Everybody tends to log on right at 7. Pittsburgh, perfect. New Jersey. Welcome. Julian, where are you from? Chicago. You guys, I can't believe you aren't booming with business in Chicago. We have a couple of instructors that we work with in the Chicago market, and it's been a little soft, which I thought it would be a much stronger market based on some of the laws that have come down there. Is that what you're experiencing, or? So yeah, yeah, I've heard that a lot. Same thing on the East Coast. A lot of the Maryland age instructors have reported that the market is kind of soft. Here in Detroit, which is where I am, um, the market went marshmallow on me. It was busy, 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 great. And then just the last 2 months have been really soft for us. And I wanted to think that it's the whole economy thing. But then when I go to a concert, it's sold out. When I go to any entertainment zone, there's people everywhere. Go out to dinner, there's a waiting list. So there are people out there with expendable income. There is expendable income. I just think they're not prioritizing it to be spent on personal safety. This week, our class has it. Yeah, this week our class is pretty strong. Our class is on Sunday this week, and I'm up to 31 people registered, which is 10 more than I've had for the last two classes. So typically I put about 40 butts in seats every single week without any paid advertising. But it's been a little on the mushy side. I think talking to the USCCA and our contacts at the USCCA, they've said that that's basically the climate across the country, that it's all been a little soft. So if not for my online training, I would have been really soft. So I'm going to talk to everyone. So, all right. Let's see here. I've got everybody. I think I have everyone that's going to be here. So thank you for joining us. My name is Doreen Hankins. I own a training company here in the metropolitan Detroit area called Detroit Arms. We've been in business for almost 16 years. It's been September, was it 2007, Jim, that we started the business? So
September
we've
11th.
been chugging at this for a little while. Again, I put 20 to 40 butts in seats every single week for our Michigan concealed carry class. I do it without any paid advertising. I do not advertise on Facebook or Google or any of that. I utilize all of the free ways that you can get your word out on social media, and it works out great for me. I also have a robust online learning platform that I utilize, and I'm going to show you some of the tips and tricks there. So, why online training? It's not intuitive to something like shooting guns, but the reality is that it's convenient and flexible, that students are able to train at times that are convenient for them. It widens your market. And in that respect, there are things that you as an instructor can teach that aren't necessarily with regard to your state or your local locale. There are things you can teach gun owners nationwide. So you're able to take that knowledge as far as you want to take it. It establishes your credibility. It highlights your teaching style and personality. Jim watches a bunch of online training every day. And
I do, so you don't have to.
exactly, I hear it. And for me, some of the instructors that he's forced to listen to, because it is the subject matter expert in whatever it is he's looking to learn, there is no way on this earth I could spend 8 to 16 hours training with that individual. So it's a great way to show people who you are, what you're all about. and what it might be like for them to come take in-person training. And then the last reason is money. And I'm going to show you what that's all about. Just some quick statistics for you. $458.8 billion is the projected value of global e-learning by 2026. 70% of students agree that online classes are better than traditional. I agree with that number. We have spent a lot of time doing online training at Detroit Arms pre-COVID, not so much, but through COVID and past COVID. And a lot of those students, after having taken an online class, will comment how much they enjoyed being able to do it from the comfort of their own home, being able to do it at a time that they were more able to do it. It wasn't at a prescribed time. They were able to log on, do the training when they wanted to. And they also didn't have the feeling that they were the one person in the room that had no idea what was going on. 98% of US corporations have incorporated online learning, and 42% of businesses who use online learning generate more income than those who don't. And I'm going to show you how I do it. So we're at a unique time in history. Never before has online learning been more accepted. And we, as firearm trainers, need to embrace that and the technology that goes with it. For me, COVID changed everything. I have been doing Michigan concealed carry classes, all kinds of other tactical firearms training, avert classes, you name it, we do it. And all of that was always done 100% in person. COVID hit in March of 2020. Our governor shut us down jiffy quick. All in-person training was ordered to stop by our governor, and that was how I made my money. So I had to find a way to pivot because I have employees, I have people relying on me for an income. And as Jim calls it, field expedient methods were quickly put in place. That's his military talk for me. So his idea, let's take our show on the road. Let's take it online. And I was like, whoa, wait. I have never used Zoom, first and foremost. Second, not really thinking that that's appropriate for firearm training. You got to be kidding me. How was I going to do that? I have no kind of time to learn a new program. Not that I had anything else going on. It was COVID and we were stuck home. And so I just wasn't really a fan of that. I didn't want to be on camera. I have notoriously bad hair. I didn't like how I looked. I was nervous in front of the camera. What if people thought I was ugly? How am I going to do this? They're going to eat me alive, blah, blah, blah. Who is going to buy into this? People are used to training in person. I had more excuses than Carter had liver pills. And fun fact, as it turned out, people ate it up. They were all sitting at home with nothing to do. And you can only watch so many Netflix movies before you have to find something else to do. And for us, class attendance skyrocketed. I had a classroom at the time that would accommodate about 20 people comfortably. And we were doing classes on the weekend, 20 people on Saturday, 20 people on a Sunday. And that was about it. And then COVID happened and I was able to go online with my class, my Michigan CPL class. We got permission from the state of Michigan to teach the first 5 hours of the class live online. And then as soon as COVID restrictions were released, that's when we met up again for the next 3 hours of the class. It's an 8-hour class. 5 of it was allowed to be done online. 3 of it, which is essentially the range portion, was required to be done in person. So we went from hosting class just on a Saturday or a Sunday here and there to every single day of the week. And when I'm saying class sizes more than doubled, there were days that I had 70, 80 people online with me doing a CPL class. I couldn't manage that all on my own. So it was me and another instructor, and I would just kind of sit in the background and make sure that people were actually paying attention because it was a live webinar. There was no recording involved. And if somebody signed in and then wandered off and wasn't answering our questions, it was going to be a real problem. So then what I had were people who wouldn't normally attend a concealed carry class, maybe just somebody who wanted to learn the book work of the class, but never intended to move on to segment 2, which was the range and shooting part. I had a bunch of people logging on just to learn about the law with regard to self-defense and a firearm in your home. So literally it's been like printing money for us. That class, now we've moved to all in person with CPL training. That's not to say that we don't throw an online class out there every now and again. But people are just itching to get out of the house now. I do have other online classes, so it hasn't stopped. And I wanted to share with USCCA instructors all over the country that there's a way to leverage huge results in the number of students that you can train by using online training. So I'm going to share with you how I do what I do in a minute. First, I want to show you a little bit of proof. Here's an old sales snapshot, and I've done with this snapshot every single time I bring it up. I remember that I forgot to fix it, but this was back from November. The $37.95 you see people buying at all hours of the night and day is a class that I have that runs and on a video on demand platform. People are ordering that class at all kinds of odd hours and taking that class. What were they buying? They were buying the Michigan Concealed Pistol License Renewal course. In the state of Michigan, in order to renew your CPL license, which is done every 5 years, you are required to do a 3-hour review of the required training, and you're required to go shooting anywhere for at least an hour in the 6 months that precedes your renewal application. That renewal, that 3-hour review of required training, is not required to be done in a classroom. You can self-study that all you want. You can Google the information. You can do what you want. People are inherently lazy. They would rather be fed the information. Initially, I wrote a book with the information that people needed to know, and I constantly got kickback with, I don't want to read 76 pages of information. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. So we put up a website, and instead of calling it the Detroit Arms website, because that's the name of my business, which kind of limited me to the metropolitan Detroit area in people's minds, I put it up as the Michigan Concealed Pistol License Holder class. And that covers the entire state of Michigan, which is huge. And I gave them 3 options with how they could take that class. They could take an in-person class. We allow students into our Michigan CPL class to take just the classroom portion that will satisfy the renewal. We've got a printable ebook. That is what I told you earlier. You're distracting me on the camera. Sorry. And people were kicking back. And then we did the online self-paced video, which is what I'm selling for $37.95. I basically put on my website just some information about why take a renewal class. I get that you can just sign the affidavit saying that you did, but what if something happens? Then that's a problem. I let them know what I'm going to teach them, why choose me, been doing it a long time, and you're not going at it alone because you can call me anytime. I put it out there in segments. I broke it out, and you can watch one segment at a time. You could take your sweet old time doing it, or you can sit in front of your TV, computer, on your cell phone, whatever, and take every single portion of the class at your own pace. This is what it looks like. I'm not actually on the screen when they're taking the class. I'm just voicing over a bunch of slides that I've put together. So the reality is, if you have knowledge, you can monetize it. Even if it's not a state requirement for training, you can monetize the knowledge that you have. Students are less threatened by online content, and they're apt to sign up for an online class just to see what it's all about. Again, establishes your credibility, and classes can be available 24/7. You don't need a fancy studio. You don't need a beauty routine. You just need to be able to form words. But content is king, and that's where you're going to decide how you're going to make your money. The United States Concealed Carry Association has a wealth of training. In your instructor portal, if you're a USCCA instructor, you can choose from all of these classes. They've got them all laid out. They've got beautiful PowerPoints, blah, blah, blah. You can do these, but they all need to be done live online if you do them online. You cannot record them. You cannot record them and deliver them in a format where you are not live. They have to be done on live. So it would be done online on like a video format like we are on Zoom, so that you are having live interaction with your people. You can do your own content, and that's where I excel. You can create your own content. You can monetize it. You can deliver it via on-demand video 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Some of the stuff I've done content for are listed there. The list is endless. If you can think it, you can do it. Anything you can put to paper and teach someone, you can put on video. Cloud Bedrock, which is a company that my husband runs here at Detroit Arms, we've produced a bunch of content where we've done all the heavy lifting for you. As a customer of Cloud Bedrock, which I'll tell you a little bit about what Cloud Bedrock is, we've produced professionally done videos. We have one called Introduction to Handguns. It's about a 30-minute video. It goes over the basics, and I'll show you what it covers. We've got how to choose your first class. That's about a 10-minute feeder video. Why take a gun safety course and what you need to know as a firearm owner, even if you don't carry a gun. All done for you. You can customize the slideshow yourself. You can do a bumper before or after. You can take out the voice track and use it yourself. But my Cloud Bedrock clients, which are USCCA clients all over the country, are able to use these pre-done videos that we've done. Introduction to Handguns. This is the 30-minute self-paced course they can do themselves. It talks about firearm safety, basic firearm knowledge. What's the difference between a semi-automatic and a revolver? Choosing a handgun. How do you go about choosing what's good for you? Ammunition knowledge, storage, range safety fundamentals. A lot of people, especially those people coming to a CPL class, some of them have never, ever touched a gun before. And so they don't know what to expect at a range. Here in Detroit, it's in the 80s and 90s currently. I usually have people coming in dressed in tank tops, shorts, flip-flops, and then we're going onto a range and they are getting hot brass that's being bounced off of a wall, touching them and burning them, and dancing around because the brass is hitting their feet. We talk about what range safety requirements are, that you shouldn't come to a range or shouldn't come to a class dressed like that. No high heels, none of that. It's just all not conducive to a safe range environment. And then, of course, safe transport. We want to make sure anyone coming to one of our classes understands how to transport a firearm. This all means a much more ready student to come to class. Real estate agent safety. The USCCA put out a real estate agent safety class, and it is available for you to teach in person or online via Zoom. At one point this year, well, for the last 2 years since they introduced it, I was doing at least one real estate agent safety class on site at a real estate office or at a large gathering every single week. It was huge here in the Detroit market. I charged $10 a head. They came in, they took a class. It was usually associated with a lunch and learn, where maybe a mortgage company or a home inspection company would sponsor a lunch and learn. They'd pay me the $10 a head for everybody in the room to attend it. Occasionally, we would go to a real estate office and the agent themselves would pay it, but it was really, really popular. What I got out of that was a lot of real estate agents didn't want to take 2 hours out of the middle of their day to come and learn about keeping themselves safe. knowing that I couldn't use the online, I couldn't record it and put it online for real estate agents to watch it when it was available 24/7. I had to do it via Zoom. I didn't necessarily want to do a bunch of Zoom meetings at 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night when it was a good time for them to join one. So I wrote my own real estate agent safety class. It's 2 hours long. It covers everything that the USCCA covers and more. None of this is state specific. It's all generic safety, application of lethal force kind of information. And I sell it, depends on if I'm having a soft market or not. Sometimes I sell it for $20. Right now it's on sale for $9.99. Real estate agents can find it, log in, watch the video when it's convenient for them. That is also something that Cloud Bedrock's clients have access to. Again, you can customize it yourself, put a bumper before, after, whatever, you can do it yourself. Currently, I'm working on actually more than these two, but these are the next two up that will be available. I've got a permitless constitutional carry class that I'm recording. This one, the image is for Florida, but there's like 27 states out there now who have permitless carry. The information is basically the same for all of them. So I will make it available for everybody with their own customization to it, but giving them reasons for why you should take some professional training. And then we also created a mobile and lone worker safety class that is basically the same safety that you would put in front of a real estate agent, but given in a different format for somebody who's maybe a lone worker or a mobile worker, people who would go into somebody's home, just like a real estate agent goes into somebody's home. So do plumbers and electricians and people that survey homes and all of that. They go into places that are unfamiliar to them and they're meeting with strangers, people that they don't inherently know. We're also doing one for college students. Sorry, I'm losing my mind. College students. So that will come out. Those will be out this summer that you can sell. You can monetize them. You can give them away for free. All stuff that is good information that people need to know. Best part, you can do video on demand on a ton of other platforms. There's all kinds of learning school platforms where you can sign up and put your stuff out there. Some instructors put their stuff on YouTube. It's very difficult to monetize a YouTube channel. You have to have at least 1,000 followers on YouTube before they even begin to pay you. And then when they do, it's like 10 cents a view. So it's very hard to monetize on free platforms. Some of the platforms that you can put recorded video content for sale end up taking a portion of what it is you put on their platform. So they take a portion of your class. We had one platform that we were involved with that would decide they were going to have a flash sale and they'd sell your stuff for 50% off. And so the best part about being Cloud Bedrock is that we don't take a percentage of your sales ever. You keep all the money that you earn from anything that you sell, even if it's pre-produced content that I do for you at Cloud Bedrock on the video platform. If you decide to record your own classes and stick them up there for your students, you keep all the money. The only fees you pay are a monthly fee to be a member of Cloud Bedrock and any kind of credit card transfer fees, any kind of that's all on you. But your content is hosted on our platform. So you don't need to search for a place to do that. We are available to assist you with any question that you have with regard to creation. All you have to do is ask. Best part is this means that I make money even while I sleep. Visiting an online training platform is proven to be less intimidating for a new gun owner. That 10 or 30-minute introduction to handguns class is a class doubler for me. And I'll tell you how. I will offer that many times. There is a husband who will sign up for a class, and his wife doesn't want to attend because she doesn't know the first thing about handguns, and she doesn't want to be the odd man out in the room. By offering that free class, I sometimes offer it free. They will watch that video. They'll feel like they have enough knowledge now where they could sit in a room of other people taking a gun class and they would be comfortable. So it makes it easier for me to attract people in to come as a couple for a class. You're able to address the fact that people don't know what they don't know. Everybody on this call has somebody that will tell you that their Uncle Phil said that if you shoot somebody on your front lawn, all you have to do is drag them up over the threshold of the house before you call 911 and you'll be okay. That could not be farther from the truth. I see people in the news every day of the week who have used lethal force against another human being and then were surprised when they found themselves in trouble with the law. They don't know what they don't know. You need to get in front of them and tell them what they don't know in a non-obtrusive format. They get to meet you before they decide to train with you. And that's a great thing. When we were in COVID times, I had, a couple thousand people who had met me online. And when the governor opened up the state for in-person training and we were able to start booking that 3-hour range night, people were walking through the door and I was like a celebrity. I was somebody that they had spent some time training with. And now all of a sudden, here I am right in front of them and they were excited to get on with segment 2. Clients arrive to class way better prepared for a class than they had in the past because now they're watching videos that I have sent them to say, hey, check this out. Take this time to watch this, and they are dressed appropriately for going to the range. The best part is there's no restriction on the number of students I can train in a day. Here in my current classroom, I can fit easily 50 people in the classroom. I typically don't, but I could if I wanted to. Putting it online, even if I didn't have a classroom, I could accommodate as many people as I can fish in to take a class. All right. Who here is feeling optimistic about what it is I'm talking to you about? Black Prince, I know I talked to you about this, I think on Monday. So who here is feeling optimistic about this? Does this sound like something everybody on this call feels like they can do? Frankie, I see you raising your hand. Could you type it in the chat? Yep, definitely. Awesome. You can do it. I'm here to tell you that if I can do it, you can definitely do it. I did not want to be the person on camera. So the done for you content that I have, I am not on camera. I am just voicing it over. Not good with the online stuff. It's easy to become good with the online stuff. And I'd be happy to help you with that. So what you all need to think, I talked to an instructor on, I think it was Wednesday, or no, it was Tuesday, sorry. And he was like, well, I kind of really want to do all of this, but I'm going to go on a cruise and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And so I'm really not going to exert myself too much until, maybe August. And I was like, why would you wait? This is not stuff that you need to be doing. There's done for you content. Why would you wait? This is stuff that you can put in there to feed the coffer while you're out taking a cruise, going on vacation with your family. It's what you do right now that determines your future. So if you want to prime the pump for the students to be there for you when you come back from all of this, this is a great path for you. So now you're all saying, well, what the heck is this Cloud Bedrock thing? Cloud Bedrock is Jim, help me out here, software tool that I use that has so many facets to it that if I told you all of them, you'd just be overwhelmed and you would never use it. The ones that I use of Cloud Bedrock, and this is a program for your computer that also goes in an app on your phone. It has things like missed call auto text back. If somebody calls Detroit Arms and I'm not here to answer the phone. Maybe I'm already on the phone. Maybe I'm teaching a class. Maybe I'm on the range with a student. Maybe I'm at the behind the gun counter selling a gun. If I can't answer that phone, even if they didn't leave me a message, if they hang up the phone, they automatically get a text back from me saying, "Thank you for calling Detroit Arms. Sorry I missed your call. What can I help you with?" I'm able to call them back, but what can I help you with? Oftentimes people will just respond with a simple thing like, "Do you still have room in your class on Saturday?" I'm able to answer yes and push them a link to the registration for the class. I always prefer to call people back, but there's some times that I just can't call people back, and I can glance down at my phone and answer a quick text. I've got SMS messaging. SMS messaging differs from email messaging in that this is messaging that I can do to established clients of mine. SMS messages are those little texts that you get on your phone. 98% of SMS messages are read immediately and responded to. It's a great way to interact with your students if you're looking to get them important information about the class, if you're looking to get them to give you a Google review. If those of you that are on the call that don't have a Google business profile, having a Google business profile is paramount to being a successful instructor. In addition to that, having your students put ratings for you on your Google business profile is even more important because that's how Google's algorithm decides who's at the top of that search. When somebody sits at their computer and types in firearm training near me, they determine who they're going to see by first who's paying to be there, which in our industry is rare because people don't often want to pay to be there. But it's also by how much activity is on somebody's Google business profile, how many reviews they have, how much interaction you have with your students on that profile. I've done other videos on that, but if anyone has questions about that, let me know. Email messaging. I have pre-planned emails that go out to all of my students. When they register for a class, they get an email thanking them, and they get some files that I want them to go over, some information I want them to read prior to coming to class. I then have an auto email that goes out to them to remind them 48 hours in advance of the class. I have a message that goes out to them at the completion of every class, asking for them to submit a review to Google about how they felt about the class. A lot of us USCCA instructors utilize the USCCA platform. We put all of our students on there, and then at the end of a class, we check that all of them attended, and we hit submit. What you might not, well, I'm sure you know, what you know is that the USCCA is generating an email to all of your students, thanking them for taking your class and asking them for a review. What you may not know is that review shows up on the USCCA website. It does nothing for you in marketing yourself in your local market. What does that mean? For me, I ask for all of my clients to give me a review before I hit that submit button to the USCCA. I've had them off with an email from me personally asking them for a Google review, because that review is going to end up on my local Google profile where all of my friends and neighbors, anybody who's going to log into the Google platform and say firearms training near me, they're going to see that I recently had a class 2 days ago and people have gone out there and said, "Hey, great time, learned a lot," whatever. Until I get a couple reviews from my students, I don't submit my class list to the USCCA, because if they get the message from the USCCA and they put that review out there, it's only going on the USCCA website, and nobody's ever going to see that unless it's somebody who types in find a USCCA instructor near me. Most people don't put the words USCCA in a search term to find an instructor. So I want the majority of my reviews to go to my Google page. I've got web chat. If you don't, or if you're not utilizing web chat on your website, on your Google business profile, on your Facebook, you are missing out big time. I didn't know how many people would want to interact with me on a daily basis just via chat. I get sales inquiries, I get all kinds of stuff every day, all day via web chat. I had a web chat platform on my website where you could click below and somebody could send me a question. The problem with that was that I would only see it if I logged into my uh, email because that's where it forwarded to. I have one on my Google business profile. I have one on my Facebook profile. If I wasn't logged into them, I would never see the chat until I was. What Jim's done is combined all of those chat platforms to go send it right to your Cloud Bedrock app on your phone. You get alerted immediately that somebody is looking to chat with you and has a question for you. I'm able to respond to those chats. The guys who are sitting in the cube farm at work who don't want Karen in the cube next to him, hearing him calling around looking for gun classes, you got them covered. You're able to answer all the questions, whatever. The biggest part about the Cloud Bedrock mobile app is that it takes in all of the conversations I have from every platform that I have them on. What would happen to me is I would have a chat with somebody, and then I'd want to follow up later and pre Cloud Bedrock, I'd have to say, was I chatting with him on Facebook? Was I chatting with him on Google Business Profile? Was I chatting with him on my website? And I have to track down that chat. Now, everything is all tracked for me in the app. Reputation management, that goes back to getting those Google reviews. The Cloud Bedrock app helps you manage the collection of people giving you reviews and getting them on your website. We have websites and funnels. Websites, if you don't have a website, that is your 24/7 salesperson. You need a website. Doesn't have to be elaborate. It can be just like a little brochure site. If you look at the Detroit Arms website, it is very simple. It shows them when my CPL classes are. It gives them some options for online training, and I leave it at that. I have funnels, which is effectively a website, but it is a specialized website. So it would be something where I would put up a site specific to introduction to handguns. I can put the introduction to handguns class out there and market it to all 50 states. Anybody who wants to listen, they can buy it. All I have to do is get the word out there that it exists. I don't have to go out there as Detroit Arms. Somebody in Chicago could watch my introduction to handguns class from me and pay me to watch it, not even knowing that I'm in the Detroit market. That's all included. We have the online learning portals, which is where you dock your classes that you do or the classes of ours that you use. I personally, Cloud Bedrock came about because I wear all the hats at Detroit Arms. Up until recently, Jim had nothing to do with Detroit Arms. He started the business and tended it to me. So like many small business owners, I was the one doing the juggle every day. I'm answering the phone. I'm keeping up on social media. I'm preparing for the class. I was teaching the class, cleaning the classroom, advertising, vacuuming. Every day I would question at the end of every class, why are all these candy wrappers in the bathroom? Who is sitting through all my class eating candy in the bathroom? It was all on me to get all of that done. He streamlined all that for me to make my job so much easier. You can launch course creation because we have it's now actually 6 done for you starter courses. You can launch all of that in as little as a day. You get a copy of all the funnels that I use in order to put out and advertise my classes. You get immediate access to all the future done for you courses. And we have the availability here to, if you don't have a website, put one together for you, put the funnels together, get everything up and running. And it's business in a box. It really is. Why choose us over other platforms that you could choose? Unlike much of the tech landscape out there, we respect the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. Mark Zuckerberg and I are not friends. He does not like me. I'm on his short list. When I talk on the internet, even with Detroit Arms, I often refer to guns as nugs because if I put stuff out there and they catch me, I get shut down all the time. We have 15 plus years in the firearm training business. I will tell you that I have been doing CPL classes that entire time. For a time, we owned and operated, in addition to the firearm training, an FFL. We ran that for a number of years, and then one day decided there was way more money in the training arena than there was in hocking guns and holsters and ammo. We have partnered with a local range here where I often help out behind the counter and stuff like that. But I have made my share of mistakes. I saw somebody in the USCCA portal today asking for direction on how do I get my word out to people who aren't on social media. There's a whole genre of customers out there that don't go on Facebook. They don't see Twitter. They don't how do you market to those people? And I told them how you market to those people. Well, yes, the millennials and the Gen Xers and all of that, we're all up on Facebook and Twitter, and it's really easy to reach us. There is a whole generation that is not. And so I give all of my Cloud Bedrock clients tips and tricks on how to do that. We are U.S. Army veteran owned and operated. Jim spent some tours of duty in the sandbox, and his hearing acuity has suffered from it. I think it's more selective hearing than anything. And we are 2A friendly. This is an understatement for us. The Second Amendment, we live and breathe it. So, how to become a Cloud Bedrock client. Our $197 a month program covers everything I talked to you about tonight. It's got the reputation management, it's got messaging, web chat, missed call, text back, SMS. You get access to the custom mobile app that comes on your phone so that you can have everything that would come to your desktop come to your phone. You can have unlimited team members. What does that mean? Maybe I'm busy. Maybe I need somebody else to field my phone calls for an hour or two. That could be Jim. That could be my son. It could be one of my instructors that instruct with me. I can forward them the information. They can log on. They can watch for all of the activity, and they can answer the questions. Unlimited people that you can assign to be a part of your team. In addition, because we had the $497 a month, and I knew that a bunch of new instructors were out there, we're including in the $197 the membership site, which is what we call the online training portal. It's where you can put all of your e-learning out there, and the websites and funnels. So $197 a month is what we're offering if you want to become a Cloud Bedrock client, and I don't know why you wouldn't. You do get personalized assistance, setting up your sales channels. You can be selling literally in just a few hours. The online training classes, we help you create ads. Here are some ads that we did for some of our clients, where you can take this artwork, put it on Facebook, put it in a Facebook group. In the descriptive for the post that you're making is where you put what you're charging for it and what link they click on to go get the class. It's really that easy. You can sell the Introduction to Handguns course. You can sell the Real Estate Agent Safety course. It is 24/7. If you're in a state that does require online training for things like a renewal, I can send you a copy of my renewal course so that you see what it covers and tweak it to what it is your state requires. Maybe it doesn't require 3 hours. Maybe you want to add a section for the law as it pertains to self-defense in your state. We're able to do that. You simply just can't afford not to do this. This is me as a kid. I've got my tactical Frisbee here. All I'm asking from anyone on this call is book 15 minutes on my calendar. Give me a call. Let's talk about some of your challenges and how we can help you. All you have to do is scan that QR code or go to thecloudbedrock.com/contact. Put 15 minutes on my schedule. I can guarantee you it'll be more than 15 minutes because I'm a blabbermouth, but put 15 minutes on my schedule and ask me anything. You can ask me anything now, but if you don't want to ask in a group forum, book some time on my calendar. I'm free all day tomorrow. I have exactly no calls tomorrow. So if you guys don't populate my calendar tomorrow or Monday or Tuesday, Jim's going to have to deal with me. So Jim, are you there?
Please save me. Please save me.
Please save you. Yeah. Was there any questions that I can answer for anyone on the call? I see Chris went back to a full-time job. A lot of USCCA instructors and NRA instructors and whoever, a lot of instructors out there, this is a side hustle for them. And it is not a full-time job. And those who do it as a full-time job can respect the hustle because it is hard to get butts in seats. I see a lot of instructors out there doing Facebook paid ads and expensive placement with Google, buying keywords in order to get up atop of a search. Honestly, you might as well drive down the road and throw $20 bills out the window. That is not an approach that you can keep. I mean, if you're rich, I suppose you could keep it up for a long time. It just doesn't financially make sense. I got creative first because I kept getting put in Facebook jail, which did not allow me to do marketing using a sponsored post on Facebook.
No fault of your own. It was
totally my fault. It's totally my fault. I have a big mouth and I have like the sense of humor of a 12-year-old boy. So I was putting up memes and laughing and cutting it up with my audience. And Facebook doesn't see some of the things as funny as I do. So I got shut down quite a bit. So that forced me into finding ways to get my information out there without having to pay for it. And so if any of you ever watched any of my prior videos, I take you through how to join Facebook groups, which are free to join. And I put my advertising in there. Currently, I'm a member of over 200 groups in Michigan, and it grows all the time because there's always new groups forming. Some of these groups are local groups, like we live in the New Baltimore area. There's groups for New Baltimore residents where they allow local businesses to post advertising in their groups. Some of them are sale and swap sites instead of garage sales these days. People put their stuff online and people buy it off their front porch. Some of these groups have in excess of 10,000 people in them. That's huge. So I put my ads in the groups that will allow me to do so. In the Detroit market, over half of those 200 groups that I'm a member of are here in the metropolitan Detroit market. I have a bunch of ads that I've created. I flip them around so that they're familiar, but it's new, so that you don't just keep hammering them with the same picture all the time, and it works. If you're a member of Pew Pros, and Jim, if you can put them up a link for Pew Pros. Pew Pros is one of our Facebook groups that we run. It's also a YouTube channel. It's also a website. And I dump a lot of training on there, free training for instructors to kind of take advantage of. Today Frankie, I need you to jump on my calendar if you would, or give me your phone number. And then when we wrap this up, I'd be happy to give you a call. I don't think you can book on my calendar anymore today, but drop your phone number in here in the chat or send me a message to, Doreen at cloudbedrock.com. There we go. I'll call you when we're done. But back to, if you go to Pew Pros, you'll see right before the call today, I had posted a meme, for what that's worth. It was an aha moment kind of thing. It's something that you or I or any gun owner or any concealed pistol license carrier, it's a message that they would want to say, aha, that's exactly how I feel, and share with everyone around them. So it was just a message. It was why I carry a gun. It's not because I want to impose uh, myself on other people. I don't want other people to impose themselves on me and harm me. And then in the descriptive of my post, I said a little something about, hey, do you want to be a concealed carry holder? If so, we have a class for that. And I put a link to Detroit Arms. That post from my Detroit Arms Facebook page was shared in the last 24 hours, was shared 55 times. Do the math on that. Most of your friends have friends on their Facebook page. Some of them have 200 friends. Some of them have 500 friends. Some of them have 1,000 friends. One person shares that post, all of those friends get to see that post. 55 people share that post. Every friend on 55 people's friends list is going to see that. We're talking hundreds of thousands of people potentially have now seen that subtle advertisement for my CPL class. It makes a difference. It makes a difference. People like to share information. I like to get my information out there. I put it out there in all different formats. Cloud Bedrock clients can get the benefit of how it is I do what I do. How do I put 20 to 40 butts in seats every single week and not pay a dime in advertising? I share that knowledge with you. So anyone else have any questions? I'm missing my pencil. Oh, there it is. Nobody? Sorry, I was writing Frankie's number down so I know who to call when I hang up here. No questions from anybody. How many people are going to get on my calendar? It really isn't just a COVID thing. I didn't even think that it was an option during COVID, and Jim proved me wrong on that. It never occurred to me moving forward that this was going to be an option, just because you inherently feel like handgun training is meant to be done in person. Reality of the situation, if we're moving and shooting and all of that, yeah, that needs to be done in person. But you can still deliver a class on dry fire drills, showing people how to properly do a dry fire drill, which is training in the home. You could easily deliver a class on how to choose a holster. How did you choose a holster? I tell people all the time how I chose my holster. People think, oh, well, there's got to be just one perfect holster out there. No, that's like saying there's one perfect running shoe out there, or one perfect tennis shoe out there, or one perfect pair of high heels. There's not. There's hundreds of choices out there, and you are going to find that you may end up buying 3, 4, 5, a dozen holsters before you find what works for you. Not every holster is appropriate for every situation. I have holsters that I can wear when I'm wearing jeans and a belt, and can fasten a holster to the side of my pants. There are days that I'm wearing a dress. There are days that I'm wearing yoga pants and a tunic, and wearing a holster just doesn't work. So in that instance, a belly band works well for me. There are all kinds of informational tidbits that you can put out there for people that they want to learn, that you can easily deliver in a class, paid, unpaid, whatever. Some of the stuff that I have out there for my Cloud Bedrock clients don't necessarily need to charge for those. Those are the short little 10-minute classes, especially for those of you in the states that have permitless carry. They don't know what they don't know. Just because you have a gun in your home for self-defense doesn't mean you know what the rules are with regard to self-defense. And we've gone to permitless carry. Now people are carrying a gun and they have no idea how to handle themselves in a situation. It doesn't occur to them that they can't be the aggressor in a situation. It doesn't occur to them that a jury of 12 of their peers is going to look at the situation where they just shot at somebody and the situation didn't warrant lethal force. It's getting them to understand that just because you have a gun doesn't mean you know how to use it or when it's appropriate to use it. And so that's the purpose of some of these classes, is to get them to kind of have that aha moment. Maybe I should take that. 911, for example, making a 911 call. Not everybody knows how to properly make a 911 call. I'm guilty of that. I'm a blabbermouth. I talk about anything to anyone, anywhere, at any time. I'm the person that when 911 says stay on the line until help arrives, I'll probably stay on the line till help arrives. They're going to engage me in conversation. They're going to ask me, where did he come from? What was he doing? Was there anybody with him? I'm going to answer those questions with just indirect answers because I can't form a thought because my adrenaline is pumping and some dude's bleeding out on the ground. I'm going to answer those questions with, I think, it seemed like, I'm pretty sure. Those are all not definitive answers, and those will all be used against me later in a court of law. People don't know how to dial 911. People don't know what use of force options are out there and how to de-escalate a situation, how to get themselves. The only gunfight you're assured of winning is one you never have. So you have to kind of counsel them through what they are able to do and what they're not able to do. And so we've got some 10-minute things that you just put a blurb out on Facebook and you say, Pennsylvania residents or wherever you are, do you know the law with regard to self-defense in our state? If not, watch this video. And that video just takes them through some of the things that they think they might know, and they find out quickly they don't know. And then it asks them to give you their name, their email address, and any other information that you want in order to get access to that free video. Now you've got a hot lead. You've got somebody who isn't just a casual peruser on the internet. You've got somebody who's actually interested in this information. The Cloud Bedrock platform captures that information, puts it in front of you as an opportunity, and now you're able to follow up with them and find out if there's a class or something that you can do to help them. It's phenomenal. Any other questions? See, here I go again, blabbermouthing.
Jim doesn't talk to anyone. Be more like Jim.
Yeah. I want you all to get on my schedule. I've got to call Frankie when we hang up with this call, but I want to be respectful of everyone's time. We've got like 1 minute left on our webinar. So anyone, if you have questions, there's no obligation, no charge. Get on my calendar. If there's not a time that works for you on my calendar and you need something earlier in the day or later in the day, there's no harm, no foul. Jim, can you put up my email address? I think I'm D Hankins, or am I Doreen at?
You're D Hankins.
D Hankins at cloudbedrock.com.
Yep.
Drop
or you can
me
go
a
to the
note.
website. You can go to the website,
You're very welcome.
cloudbedrock.com. And there's a web
you can
chat
go to the
down
website. You can find my calendar there. If it doesn't work for you, drop me a note. D Hankins, DHANKINS at cloudbedrock.com. We'll work it out. But thank you all for joining us this evening. I really appreciate your time. Again, anything I can do to help, just reach out. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, everyone.